I was having so much irritability. And there were times where I would get so angry and I just had this like rage. And I was like, this is weird. And I can't explain it. It was Iggy couldn't figure out which nightgown she wanted to wear. And I would get so angry. And it was really this distinct change. And I'm like, I've done this twice before. Like, what is going on now? And it's not just because there's two of them and it's sort of, amplified, but something felt distinctly different. And then there was a moment not a moment, but I essentially called one of the senior research staff. I called this person a liar.
How to be patient.
Welcome back to How to Be Patient. I am joined today by Dr. Campbell Sullivan, PsyD, who is an exciting guest because I have been a guest on her show for the last couple of years, the show being the Neuropsychological Mind Patient Eval. So I met Dr. Sullivan when I was, an intern on an elective, and I was kind of learning about behavioral neurology and neuropsychology, and that's when we first kind of crossed paths. But now it's your chance to come on to How to Be Patient.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I'm excited to do this.
So we always start out with an icebreaker. And the icebreaker that I have for you today is, what would you say your favorite neurocognitive assessment word is?
The favorite word or test?
Yeah, any word.
From all of them?
Yeah, so like any kind of word you would use in the neuropsychology eval or any of your cognitive tests.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a little bit of both because, as a neuropsychologist, like what I love are the tests, so like it's always, and that's a good way a litmus test for me to sort of see like, are you a keeper or are we sort of, not keeping you? So one of my favorite tests, and one that's really easy to do at the bedside too, is assessment for simultagnosia. So I love simultagnosia. We had a little bit today in clinic. And the first time it was explained to me, I was just a wee babe. And I was at the memory and aging clinic at UCSF. And I'd never heard of simultagnosia. I had no idea what it meant. And we had a patient, and I think, I forget who it was. It may have been Bruce Miller, but he held up like a pin and a stopwatch. And he was like, to a patient, he was like, tell me what you see. And the person like could not do it. And I was like, what is happening here? Like I'd never really like been exposed to that before. And I was just like, my mind was blown. I was like, this is fascinating.
So from the foreground, they can't differentiate the different silhouettes of the objects.
Exactly. Like their eyes aren't seeing everything. So the way I explain it to patients is essentially the eyes are fine, but it's the way the brain is processing what the eyes are seeing. Like it cannot put all the figures together. And so you might be able to see sort of one item on its own, but when you have two items sort of overlapping, it's almost like too much information. It's sort of the sensory overload, and they can't really tease apart the two figures. And so the brain is just not processing what the eyes are seeing accurately. And so it can lead to a lot of problems at home. So, misplacing items, getting lost in the house, getting lost when driving. So it can lead to a lot of safety concerns. But sort of like seeing that live firsthand and sort of learning this, fancy neurology term has really, I think, stuck with me.
Yeah, that's a really fun one.
I'd say that's my favorite.
Okay, that's a good one. And
yeah.
Where does that, I'm, I guess, quizzing myself here. Where does that localize to, if anywhere? It's in the parietal lobe. So it's an extension, or it falls under your visual spatial function or processing.
Very much so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
My favorite word is in the parietal lobes too. I think we're both just parietal lobe stands. So mine is ideomotor apraxia.
Oh yeah.
And I think that it kind of has some similar vibes. It's right next to dressing apraxia. So I had a similar moment with Dr. Parker where we were assessing a patient, and she asked them to imitate her hand sign. I think she just kind of went like this. So for those who are listening, like the audio sign, it's essentially like the Spider-Man like web symbol or like the rock on kind of thing. And the patient couldn't figure out which fingers to align to imitate the position in front of them. And it also, like, instead of differentiating the silhouettes of the objects in front of them, like, and identifying and naming them, it was, how do I take what's in front of me and then reposition my body and then execute my motor system to then recreate that? So I guess it's a different breakdown in the pathway, but also like really fascinating because it has a lot to do with, um, I think your like social emotional processing too. Like so much of conversing with someone is imitating their body language and
Mm.
like
Mhm.
understanding like kind of the nuances of them moving around. So they can affect that. But I think primarily we're concerned with it affecting like fine motor skills, dressing yourself and driving, things like that. So I first of all, I think just ideomotor is a fun word.
It is.
Second
It's a good
is
one.
it's like a fun test to do. Um,
Mhm.
so I enjoy that one. I like to do like kind of the okay sign, and then sometimes we'll do like interlocking. Um,
So tricky. So
yeah,
tricky.
yeah. I need to find like higher levels.
I had a supervisor who would always talk about, he's like, we need to really talk about this syndrome, the parietal lobe dementia. And it's like individuals who are having, these kind of difficulties, they're having the trouble with the visual spatial pathways. And then a lot of times there's just like the heightened anxiety. And you can see these really like huge like expressions or, bursts of anger. Like the only time I've ever had anyone throw testing materials at me was an individual who was in sort of the moderate stages of a posterior cortical atrophy and just like really heightened emotions. And she just like, picked up picked up the blocks and it was a hard test for her. She picked up the
Yeah.
blocks and like threw them at my head. And I was like, ah. So yeah, I think there's something to the parietal lobes and emotion and just sort of reciprocity, but also knowing where you are in space and yeah, it's a really interesting area of the brain.
It's so funny for me because I feel like when was learning about the brain in college and then again in med school and again in residency, when you look at emotion, when you ask like where is emotion located in the brain, like people will give you different answers. They'll say like, oh, the amygdala, the anterior cingulate, the temporal
Yeah,
lobes. But then anytime you look at a lobe, it actually does have a huge role in emotion. Like even the cerebellum. I had a
yeah,
talk the other day where they were talking about how the cerebellum is like so important for essentially like coordinating which emotions to use at which times, like appropriately and inappropriately, just like how you coordinate your movements and balance with like your motor system. It like kind of helps do the same thing for like timing of like emotional discharges. I was like, oh my gosh, like who would have thought? So, so I think it's impossible to remove emotion from any part of the lobe, any
yeah.
one
It's
lobe.
all it's all one system. It's all
Yeah,
connected together.
it's all just
So
feelings at the end of the day. So,
big feelings.
and blocks getting thrown
Yes,
as we've learned. So we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, I just want to learn more about your story as a PsyD and kind of what a day in the life looks like as a neuropsychologist.
happily.
And we are back to talk about Dr. Campbell Sullivan's childhood. Just kidding. We're talking about your
I mean,
journey.
it it
Unless
was
it
probably
starts with your childhood.
influential, right? No, it
Yeah.
doesn't. But there's always this joke. They say like it takes 5 generations to make a psychologist. And I always used to joke to my family, I'm like, I feel like we got there in one. Um, so
Yeah,
yeah,
it's a
no, we're
speed
not gonna go into
run.
my
Yeah, we're
childhood.
your parents are
Um,
like, "Okay, let's like they do it 5, we'll do it. We can we can crank it up."
but I mean probably 'cause, and we'll get into it later. But yeah, I came to this a very, like, circuitous way, like, it was not a direct path for me, and I think a lot of that is, I didn't really know what to do, I didn't know what I really wanted to do, I knew I liked psychology, and so I started, after college, I was in LA, and I was working at, like, a locked mental hospital for seriously mental ill offenders. And so that was sort of interesting. And then, transitioned to working with individuals who had just been, they're sort of hospitalized or institutionalized their entire adult lives. Again, for sort of this refractory, psychiatric syndrome. Some of them had schizophrenia, some of them had bipolar disorder. But I was in my early 20s. I was a baby, but I really found that I could develop rapport pretty quickly with these guys. And, and I enjoyed them. Like, I like people. I like spending time with people. I had one of my favorite guys, his name is Fast Eddie. And we would just take walks, and he'd smoke cigarettes and we would just take walks, laps around the facility. And I liked it. And so I thought, well, maybe I want to pursue psychology. And so I got a master's degree in counseling, and that was in Austin. And I realized pretty quickly, counseling is not my forte, as you can probably attest to. Sometimes I'm a little bit too candid, maybe too direct. And sometimes if I'm not interested, my attention will sort of shift and,
And
and
in
I don't
counseling, you have to
follow.
be on it the entire time
Yes,
and
yes.
very controlled with your emotions.
Yes, and I just cannot do it. I also, I found that if the person I was talking to was really anxious, I would also get anxious and they'd be like, "This is hopeless." I'm like, "It is hopeless. I don't know what to do." And I was like, "This is not good. This is not my
Yeah.
forte."
They're like,
Um,
"Tell me I'm crazy, right?" And you're like, "No, I think you're onto something here."
you might be. This isn't going to be a viable career path for me. So then I started looking around at doctorate programs. And while I was doing that, I was working as a psychometrist. So that
Mm.
is somebody who is trained to administer neuropsychological tests. And it was for a private practice in Austin. And we saw kids and adults, and we would give these huge long test batteries. I mean, I was spending hours with these people. And, I think it was 9 to noon, we take a break, and it was 1 to 4 every single day. So I got
And
really good at
these
the
testing
testing.
batteries, these are anything from the Mocha to the Benson copy, Hopkins verbal learning to it's the whole shebang.
Yeah, it was a full, we would do a full IQ test called the WACE. And then we would do a full achievement battery. So looking at spelling, their academic achievement. Then we
Hmm.
would go into memory. And so we would hit all the domains, but
So it's like
we
the
would test
SAT
a
on
lot.
steroids, just for
Very
your
much
brain.
so.
Okay.
Yeah, people were exhausted. And so I did that, and I liked the testing, and I was starting to sort of understand what it meant. And I was looking at programs, and I found a PsyD program in California.
Mm.
And I didn't think I
So
was,
what made you drawn to PsyD over PhD or MD? I feel like that's kind of like a pathway that people have to pick.
yeah. And I think it's one that honestly, I don't know that I did that much research. I was like, this seems good. I knew I didn't want to be a medical doctor. I don't love to touch people. I don't. It seemed like a lot of touching. Seemed like a lot of
There is a
bodily
lot of touching.
fluids, right? And it seems like you don't get to sleep very much. And so I was like, polite pass on that. And as far as the PhD route, I didn't think that research was really my thing. I was very focused on, being a clinician and working with patients and working in a clinic, maybe an academic medical setting, but doing just hardcore research was really never a draw for me. But again, do for anyone listening out there, do more research than I did. Don't follow me. And so I just happened to fall, into this program. It's a joint program. At the time, it was called Pacific Graduate School of Psychology, and then a joint program with Stanford. And so I think it has since the school name has changed to Palo Alto University, but my diploma says PGSD/Stanford. So all of our classes were at Stanford with Stanford professors. We had a few of the PGSD faculty, but majority of it was at Stanford. And just being in the Bay Area, I really had a lot of access to a lot of really amazing faculty and opportunities and clinical opportunities. So I started working at the Palo Alto VA, and I was working sort of one of the pioneers of polytrauma, and working with a lot of veterans returning um, from Afghanistan and Iraq. And so they had concussions, and then they might have PTSD, and sort of really focusing on that, and then long-term head injuries and recovery. And that was interesting. And then sort of delved into working with the older adults at the VA. But at that time, there was a diagnosis called cognitive disorder NOS, which meant not otherwise specified. And I realized a lot of our patients were coming in with all these complaints and these concerns, and we would just sort of give this very bland, generic diagnosis. Oh, you have cognitive disorder NOS. And I was like, well, that seems kind of boring. Like, can't we do a little bit more testing? And so then I found my way to UCSF, and I was there for several years, and I worked with a lovely neuropsychologist named Joel Kramer. And that's where I just kind of fell in love. And I was like,
Mm.
this is what I want to
That's where
do.
you discovered simultagnosia.
Yes. And that
Okay.
was where I
It's all
discovered
making sense
frontotemporal
now. Yeah.
dementia. And that's where I discovered, hey, there's a lot more to differential diagnosis of dementia. Like, it doesn't have to be cognitive disorder NOS. We can say, not only is it a dementia, but what type of dementia it is. And then that can help guide treatment and give a lot of answers for families. And so it was just, sort of a life altering moment for me. And I just loved it. And so I sort of structured the remainder of my training to really focus on these challenging dementia cases, atypical dementias, young onset dementias. And so then I was in Maryland, at the University of Maryland and the Baltimore VA. And then I went to Hopkins. And at Hopkins, I worked a lot with their FTD and young onset dementia center. And just really, I tried to get to work with like the most challenging patients, see the rarest of the rarest unicorns, so that when I was practicing, I felt comfortable with anyone who walks through that door. Like
Mhm.
I was like, okay, I've seen this, and I can do this now. And so that was always my goal: was clinical care, education, making sure I'm the best diagnostician I could possibly be. So
Mhm.
that was sort of the reason I went to PsyD. Now that I'm more mid-career, senior career, I'm doing a lot more research than I ever thought I would be doing. Um, so was not on my bingo card, but I'm enjoying it.
Well, I
So
think you teased it earlier because at its core, research is a desire to excavate more knowledge. And I think your frustration with cognitive disorder not otherwise specified, that probably foreshadowed research to come. Because you're saying this status quo is not good enough for me, and I want to differentiate these things.
but I also, yeah, I mean, I think so. But I also, through my clinical work and through my where I work with families and individuals who might have a familial form of dementia, like I'm seeing gaps in the
Mhm.
research, gaps in programming, and I'm seeing like we need to be doing more. And that is sort of like drives me. And
Mm,
it's easy to build these programs and create these things when we have amazing resources. So
I see.
yeah.
So the other part was just you felt like you have a responsibility to fill those gaps because you can.
Yeah, and I think it's needed, it's necessary. I'm a bit of a fixer. It also, like, I mean, there's a really gnarly gene in my family that I never knew about, but I did know a lot of my family members are a little odd. And then my aunt was diagnosed with ALS with FTD, so Lou Gehrig's disease with the frontotemporal dementia, and that was caused by a gene. It's a variant in TAR-DDP. And so that causes accumulation of TDP-43, that bad protein that builds up in your brain. And so I knew like all her life she'd been a little bit different. And same with my dad. He'd been a little bit different, but I got along with him. I could have these relationships. And then only as they got older did I start to recognize, hey, I think this isn't right. We could explain it away. We could say she's always been like this and this is just personality. But like when we start to see the motor changes, that was really what helped convince the family, like, oh, we need to get a workup and treatment. And then we sort of found this. And so through my work with that and work with my cousins and other family members, I'm realizing like we're testing these 26-year-olds for these really sort of deterministic, terrible pathologic genes. And like, we have really nothing to offer them. Like, what if it is positive? And my family is just one of many. And so, like, when we have these these gaps, like, I'm like, we need to do something because, in this case, it happens to be my family, but, sometimes it's not my family, but there's a need there. And so we need to work to make it better because it's only as we get better with the precision medicine, as we get better identifying these dementias and these syndromes earlier in the disease course, we're going to identify people who are at risk or increased risk for a neurodegenerative process. And we're going to get them way before symptoms start. And so we need to have counseling, we need to have services, we need to have lifestyle interventions so that hopefully, we get to a point where they don't ever become symptomatic.
Yeah.
So sorry, I
I
kind of went
think
off on a tangent there.
No, I think it's just such a testament to how prolific and life altering these both the genes and the neurodegenerative illnesses are. Seeing that it affects your family, but that's a sign of how many families it does affect that they don't know. There's
Yes.
millions of families out there who are just a little odd, and
Yeah.
they don't have a niece or a granddaughter who's a neuropsychologist who can help guide them. So
Yeah.
I'm glad that your family has you, and also I wish that didn't even need to be necessary.
Yeah. But I think I think it's amazing that we've gotten to a place now that we can test for these genes and we have these answers and we can give families these answers because otherwise you're just left with this like person that you love who's always been a little quirky, but just
Hmm.
completely disintegrate and you have no reason, have no understanding as to why. And so I think giving
Yeah.
families those answers can be really powerful. So
So
yeah.
now coming to Texas, um,
Oh yeah.
what what does like a normal day in your life look like at this point? I think you've kind of described all the different hats you've worn at the various universities, but now kind of working as a PsyD neuropsychologist, what does your life look like?
I mean, I will it's pretty awesome. Like, I'm really happy with the way things are going. Um, so I was recruited down sort of on the promise of this Biggs Institute. And I'd been at Hopkins and honestly, like we had no interest in coming back to Texas. I was headed to Seattle. I had a job there and we had all the things we were going to be doing. And I applied here sort of on a whim as a backup and just really fell in love with it and fell in love with the idea of the Bigs. And so over the last 10 years, I've really done everything. And so I've worked in epilepsy and pre-surgical interventions. So our patients who are considering undergoing surgery to help alleviate their epilepsy symptoms, sort of, a temporal lobectomy. Um, and so and then I've also worked with our patients who have Parkinson's disease, who are considering deep brain stimulation to help control some of those symptoms. So a neuropsychologist is really helpful there, where you do these pre-surgical evaluations to see if they're going to be a good candidate for surgery.
Mm.
It's been a minute since I've done that, so I haven't really kept up on that research. But I helped sort of build those programs to where they are now. And now we have great faculty who have sort of taken the lead and sort of, gone off and done amazing things with that. And then I really, when Dr. Parker came, it was like I met my partner in crime. And so it was really nice because we built this mind clinic because what was happening is like she'd see a patient and refer to me and they'd wait 6 months. And then I'd see a patient and refer to her and wait 6 months. I'm like, let's see patients together. And I love a group project. So we created this mind clinic and we call it management in neurodegenerative diseases. So patients come in, they have 2 hours with me where I do an interview and then I try to do as much testing as possible. So what that private practice neuropsychologist was doing in a whole day, I try to condense into 90 minutes. And we're pretty good at it. And then we scored up really fast. And then I go talk to Dr. Parker and we kind of go over, everything I've learned. She usually has found the imaging and we go over that and we debrief and we have our discussion, like our case consensus. And then she has her appointment with them. And then over the years, as we've grown, we've tacked on like all the different resources we've had. So we have social work now, we have a genetic counselor, we have RAs for any research that they might be interested in. Back in the day, it was just myself and Dr. Parker, and it was really we had no resources. And so a lot of this has grown. And so we have these mind clinics. We have a generalized mind clinic. We have our specialized mind clinics. And so for me, that is we call it the FTD Mind Clinic, but a lot of times it's just any individual who's having a lot of behavioral changes. And so they
Hmm.
come in, and so I do those assessments. I work with those families. Today my clinical interview was 2 hours long. And so like I have the flexibility of really like sinking my teeth into a case when I want to, or if it's really simple and straightforward, we can move it along. In the afternoons, I just started showing up to Dr. Jackson's ALS clinic, I don't know, 6 years ago. And she's like, "What are you doing here?" I was like, I feel like there's a place here for me, but I don't know what it is yet." And so just sort of like toyed around with it because they have this huge multidisciplinary clinic where our ALS patients are coming in and they see everyone. So they see, Dr. Jackson, who's the neurologist who specializes in ALS, but they also see like the pulmonary doctors. They see we have a speech language pathologist there. They see a dietitian, occupational therapy, physical therapy. Um, there's usually someone from the ALS association is there. The genetic counselor is there. I'm there, and so it's a great way to for the patient to see all of their providers in like a single afternoon.
Hmm. It's like a NASCAR pit stop is kind of how it comes to mind.
That's
Like
a
they're
really
pulling
good
it off the track.
analogy.
They've been
Yes,
scheduled, and you come in with social work, with a behavioral neurologist, with genetics counselor, and you're like, "Ew, ew, 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 ew." And
and
it's like we're gonna
everyone just
do,
like, yeah,
yeah. Like would have
it's
taken us six
amazing.
to 9 months before. Like we're gonna knock it out in half a day.
And it's amazing. And it's especially with that disease, because, it can affect people so differently. But a majority of the time, there are huge problems with mobility. And so you have like just getting someone ready for a single appointment is like moving heaven and earth.
Hmm.
But to try and do that for nine different specialists, like every 3 months, like it's just too much. It's too much for
And so many of the
caregivers.
patients are driving from all over Texas too. Like we'll have
Yes,
patients that drive 2.5 hours, 3 hours, and
all the time.
and
All the time.
yeah,
We have
it's
a
so hard
huge
to make them
catchment
come to multiple
area.
appointments. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and if otherwise they would be professional patients at that point. So this, I think it gives them, it eases the burden on the caregiver, it eases the burden on the patient. They have a little bit more of their life left to live with their family, not spend it waiting for a doctor. So yeah, so that's my main. Those are my main clinics. It's mind clinics and ALS clinics at this point in my career, and so that's my favorite. I love a multidisciplinary clinic. Like, I think working alone in a silo, like in a private practice, would be the worst for me. Some people thrive in that environment, but
I
I need
also
to
don't
chit
thrive
chat.
in that. Yeah, I need to I
No.
need to work on a team too. And it
Yes.
sounds
It's
like no
the
matter where
best.
you are as the neuropsychologist, you're able to be a part of the team. As like if the disease has to do with the brain and cognition anyway, like you have a niche there and a way to kind of support the goal.
Yeah. I love it. And then I help lead. We have a fellowship, like a neuropsychology fellowship. So we have fellows rotating in every 2 years. We have a match. And so I work with our fellows and I help them in clinic. And then I also I lead my research is really sort of managing these large observational studies. So like I'm the site PI for something called All FTD, and this is a national study. I think there's 19 different sites. And so it's nice because a lot of our families and patients come to FTD Mind Clinic and they're like, oh, I am interested in research. I'm like, perfect. We'll just take everything you just did, take your name off of it, and use that for the research part of it. And so we're trying to be efficient with our time because, again, it's probably, some of my background in dealing with, my dad and his illnesses is like, I'm cognizant of how hard it is on caregivers. And so I'm always wanting to sort of reduce that burden, but allowing people to participate in research when there's that interest because goodness, it is so helpful. So yeah, that's a day in the life for
That's a
me.
big day. So well, thank you for sharing your whole journey and kind of like I guess a glimpse into all the different clinics you wear hats in. Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, I want to hear more about kind of your takes on kind of the current field of neuropsychology, and I think we've talked, I guess, off camera about this a couple of times about, your opinions on the aging female brain and where we could see improvements or maybe maybe where we have some shortcomings right now. So when we come back, we will get into that.
Sounds good.
I know we've talked a lot about how great and fun neuropsychology is, all the different things you could do in it. But I guess I want to hear where are some gaps, just like how you notice with the gaps in the cognitive, not otherwise specified disorder. Where are some gaps that you think we could improve?
As an aging woman, like I've noticed that there's a lot of things that I was not prepared for, and no one had really talked about. And I had some inklings. Like when I first came to UT, I worked on a project with the Cancer Center, and it was working with men who had prostate cancer and were being treated with androgen deprivation therapy. So it's essentially like a chemical castration to sort of reduce their cancer risk and help control their prostate cancer. And what they were noticing is that these guys were having cognitive impairment and a lot more emotionality. And so we wanted to put together some ideas and to do some testing and sort of really look at cognition. And, I think we went through a few rounds of that, but that was the first time where I was really doing a deep dive into sort of hormones and effects on the brain. And, realizing that estrogen is like very neuroprotective. And I was like, huh, that's interesting. But I was in my 30s. Like, I was like, it's not, doesn't really affect me now. Um, and then, like, as I got older, and I have a lot of children. So I had my first at 30, I had my second at 35, and then I had the twins at 41. And so, like, I raised a lot of toddlers in my life. Um, and I noticed that with the twins, when they were around 2, and again, it was sort of like COVID times, and it was a lot going on. But I just realized, like, I was having so much irritability. And there were times where I would get so angry and I just had this like rage. And I was like, this is weird. And I can't explain it. Yeah, it was, Iggy couldn't figure out which nightgown she wanted to wear. And I would get so angry. And it just like, it was really this distinct change. And I'm like, I've done this twice before. Like, what is going on now? It's not just because there's two of them and it's sort of, you know, amplified, but something felt distinctly different. And then there was a moment where, not a moment, but I essentially called one of the senior research staff. I called this person a liar. And I was so angry and I was like having all these like email battles. Have you ever engaged in that where you're just like you're just really
Oh,
angrily
I
writing
usually
a
I
letter?
stick to Twitter or X for my battles. I haven't ventured into email
So
yet, but,
this
but I
is
can
like
picture it. Yeah.
just a battle like just with yourself basically. But it's like it's on full display because everyone's CC'd. And I was like, what is going on with me? Like I'm having it's like such these huge like emotional outbursts, and that's very unlike me. And that was the time I discovered TikTok. And I am such a TikTok fan. And I think around that time was when they started talking about perimenopausal and menopausal women and like I do not care club. And like there was all this like talk around it, which really had never like been on my radar before. And I started doing more research into this. And I had always known, not always known, but like there are sex differences in dementia, right? So like women are diagnosed, or the prevalence of women in Alzheimer's world is 2 times that of men. So women are at increased risk for dementia. A lot of times they are diagnosed later in the disease process. So by the time they get the diagnosis, they essentially have more um, amyloid and tau in their brains, and it's because women are sort of better at a lot of these list learning tests. So it's like we can hold on to our abilities a little bit longer and test a little bit better, and then finally, when you see the changes in the testing, they start to do poorly on the testing. That they really sort of like they've sort of crossed a moment in time, and so there's just more buildup of bad protein in the brain, and the differences in the prevalence rates, the fact that we're able to sort of like compensate early in the disease, but we're getting diagnosed and we have more disease pathology. Like it just all started, I don't know, it was just something I was thinking about more, and then thinking about more with the estrogen. And then, I think was doing some research into it, and it was back in the early aughts when they did the black box warning on hormone replacement therapy. And so, around prior to that, women were getting some degree of hormone replacement therapy as they were going through perimenopause and menopause. And then they had this big study, and they were using, I think, like equine. I looked it up earlier, but they're using sort of synthetic forms of estrogen and progesterone, and at very high rates. And so they're noticing that with that, with those levels, women were having a lot of trouble. And so they were having, greater risk of stroke and blood clots and cancer. And so all of these sort of terrible things. And of course they like stopped the study and they put this warning on it. So there's an entire generation of women who were sort of deprived of this hormone replacement therapy, deprived of this estrogen, and that we know that estrogen is really protective for the brain. And so, I'm not saying that entirely accounts for this huge difference and this increased risk in women, but I'm sure that it contributes to it. And so I, when I was in my like early to mid 40s, was starting to realize like this is really problematic. Not only the emotions, but like I was having more trouble concentrating, like I was having trouble coming up with the right word. And I'm not alone in this. I was like seeing it sort of like all over my FYP. My friends were describing the same thing. And I was like, I don't even know what to do. And it just through circumstance, like a friend of a friend's husband happened to be an endocrinologist. And he specializes in menopause. And I was like, I didn't even know that was a thing. And like I work in the medical field, and like I'm in a hospital. I know a lot of doctors. I've never heard of anyone specializing in menopause. And so, I went and saw him, and like we started slow and like started to get this estrogen patch and like the progesterone, and like my sleep got better, my moods got better. And it like at a certain point I was like, I feel back to normal. So now I'm like the biggest proponent. If you're a candidate for it, like let's go and let's start this journey, because I have so many like people on my teams, patients coming in where it's like they're reporting all this cognitive change, and we start del- de- digging into it, and like they're having a lot of trouble with their sleep. They're waking up 2 or 3 times at night, and it's not because they have obstructive sleep apnea. It's not because they have to go to the bathroom. They're just waking up and they're sort of wired, and they're having all this difficulty at work. And so like there are definitely changes happening that really aren't being addressed. And even now, like I think they reversed that black box warning in 2025. And so, I think that's helpful, and we're starting to see some changes. But that's an entire like almost 20 years, over 20 years.
Yeah, it's a really interesting timeline because I remember reading about how in like the 80s and 90s, everyone got OCPs, everyone got hormone replacement therapy, and then
Yeah.
it kind of got vilified. This has an
Mm-hmm.
increased risk of cancer, increased risk of blood
Mm-hmm.
clots, stroke, etc. And then it was like nobody gets it unless you have severe hot flashes, pain, symptoms.
Yeah.
And then as far as using it as a way to treat cognition or mental illness, that was like an aside. Um, for us in
Yeah.
psychiatry, actually, there's a bimodal distribution of schizophrenia, and like women can develop like almost like later in life schizophrenia between the ages like 45 to 50, and it's usually around the dip in estrogen. So we do
Mm,
our own
that's
studies
interesting.
about the like neuroprotective effects of estrogen, almost like augmenting against things like psychosis.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's really fascinating that like you were experiencing these symptoms
Firsthand.
personally, and then instead of just being like,
Yes.
"Oh, that's just me, hormones going crazy," you're like, "Wait, I'm a neuropsychologist. I can think about why my affect is changing, why my distress tolerance is affected, and like let me actually like dig into
Fix
this."
it. Yeah. And that's what I think was so hard is like, this like none of the women, like, my mother or anyone of her age or generation, like really got hormone replacement therapy or knew about, there are options other than just sort of like white knuckling your way through it. But it also explained like a lot of their behavior. It's like, oh, okay. So they're not entirely cuckoo bananas.
Do you know if hormone replacement therapy has any effect on your like future risk of developing dementia?
It does. So taking it sort of within 10 years of menopause seems to be protective. Taking it sort of after that window, it might sort of increase your risk or have little to no effect. So there definitely seems to be some protective effects as long as you're sort of taking it in that window. But it's also, this is an area where we haven't really studied it. Or our data is a little bit outdated. And I think this is an area that's ripe for investigation. And so just last year, so we know we have an Alzheimer's Disease Research Center, an ADRC here, and it's one of 34 in the country. And every center who has an ADRC, we all use the same test battery and questionnaires, and we call it the Uniform Data Set or the UDS. And so last year they updated the UDS, and it now is starting to ask questions about when you went through menopause. Did you get hormone replacement therapy before? Are you getting it now? So this is something that's going to be, I think, really helpful for researchers and scientists is like, we're going to have this data all across the country on thousands of women and not just like at one time point, because the ADRCs are designed to have really strong follow-up. So we're going to have this data longitudinally, and we'll be able to sort of track this as individuals start to become symptomatic or have more changes in their thinking. So I think it's a great time to really start focusing on women's health, focusing on what are the protective factors, because there is something interesting about like, we don't get diagnosed until we have a lot of tau burden in the brain. And so there's something a little bit interesting in that regard.
Yeah, even the psychometric testing focus is like biased towards screening for men with these problems,
Absolutely.
and women fall into the radar. Like, you learn till the cows come home about chest pain, shortness of breath being the primary symptoms of a heart attack, and then women come in, nausea is their primary symptom. But
Interesting.
it's half the population. It's not like one is the standard and the other one is like a man plus hormones. Like, so it sounds like too, even within your like kind of psychometric batteries, there's probably a lot of work to be done about like adjusting it to better screen for women in the prodrome.
I definitely think there's some latitude there, and we can sort of improve our precision and improve like how we're measuring things. I mean, we do our best with norms and we try to control for sex so that we can sort of reduce those differences and we can compare, me to other women like me. So, we can identify those problems earlier. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, we need to update a lot of our tests.
Absolutely. Or even if psychometric testing isn't the best one, then the fact that we're focusing on it, like we should be focusing on something else to better screen. So, I
Absolutely.
mean, I think it's honestly probably not on my radar. Maybe should be to look into hormone replacement therapy for perimenopausal women whose primary complaint is like cognitive difficulty or
Or
sleep
sleep
problems.
or
Yeah,
or
and
like the irritability. Yeah.
yeah, so and it's really interesting, even just like what you're saying about it being neuroprotective in the future or having like immediate like symptom relief rather than like putting this person on trazodone, a bunch of SSRIs, like trying to stabilize it. Otherwise, it's just like, oh, let's we know that there are risks of hormone replacement therapy, but we can't be dogmatic about the risks and not appreciate that there are benefits to it.
But I think a lot of the risks are, we're finding that they are reduced. So like, the concern with like blood clots is really high with oral estrogen, but the patch, it reduces that risk.
Right, right.
And so like there's different ways to prescribe and to sort of like manage this so that we can sort of address the symptoms and really give relief and neuroprotective benefits to these women. So yeah, I think it's an important gap. I'm one that I'm focused on more and more as an aging woman, because I do want to protect my brain. Because every time I forget a word, I'm like, oh God, that's my logopenic aphasia, like
Yes.
just bursting through. So
Here it comes. Wow. Well,
yeah,
thank you. I really appreciate that take. I think I'll probably fold it into my own practice too. When I'm evaluating kind of women in that range. I think
thanks.
that was
Yeah.
most of what I had for today. Do you have any other kind of like last points, hot takes, maybe predictions about the World Cup?
No, but I will say we were in Boston with the Tartan Army. And that was really fun. And
Hmm.
so
When they drank
my
all the
name is
beer.
Campbell. Yeah, they
Yeah.
drink all the beer. And like
They drank all
allegedly
the
I
beer
come
out
from
of
the
Boston.
it's just like they're just I mean, I've never seen so much
Oh,
like support. It was really good. Yeah. I haven't been following it since they got kicked out. Um
it's too
but yeah,
bad.
I'm gonna go back and enjoy my TikTok hour before I go to sleep.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah.
I think that's a great
Thanks.
plan. I think the USA is playing tonight, so I'll probably be catching them. Um,
Okay. That sounds
if
good.
you are, like, hoping to have anyone reach out to you on socials, where or if people just wanna ask you more questions, where can they
Oh
find
yeah.
you?
Yeah, that's a great question. I don't technically have any of the socials. I should probably work
Yeah,
on
or
that.
maybe, like,
Um,
your LinkedIn or your email,
I do have a
your
LinkedIn.
Snapchat, any of
Yeah, you can find me on LinkedIn. I don't know. It's probably just A Campbell Sullivan. So go from there, and we
Okay,
can
okay,
go
and then
go
we'll be able to
forward.
navigate it. And then, to all those of you who are listening, if Dr. Sullivan, decides to get into the TikTok, posting game, we will, let you guys know. We'll post on the How to Patient story. We'll help you find her.
I always ask people what they want to do, like their sort of alternative career, and like mine is slowly becoming like a TikTok influencer. I think
Well,
that's gonna be my retirement plan.
I think you'd be great at it. There's, if you're a fixer who likes plugging gaps, there's absolutely a gap on TikTok for well-educated neuropsychologists that aren't just using therapy speak to push pseudoscience. So,
I
like,
really
we
just
would.
want to talk about makeup though. So it might be we can talk about the brain and makeup.
Here's the
So there you
thing:
go.
you could do get ready with me while I put on a full beat of makeup while I tell you about my opinions on estrogen's neuroprotective factors. I think that's like
There you
absolutely a
go.
video that would pop off. So there's
Okay.
plenty to play with there. And
Perfect.
honestly, and that's why you lull the audience in, right? They're like, "Oh, I want to learn about makeup," and then you're like, "Gotcha! You're actually going to learn some neuroscience." Surprise!
Let's talk about the behavioral variant of FTD. So
All
yeah,
right.
this is
Well,
perfect.
thank you so much for being on here. This was a ton of fun. To our listeners, thanks so much for supporting through this whole season 4 thing. 4 seasons. It's wild that we've made it to this point.
It's
Um,
impressive.
yeah. If you want to watch the full video episodes, they're going to be on Spotify or on YouTube at its Presro. Thanks again to everyone leaving the comments. I think we had a comment this week that was, could you make an episode about studying for the board exam? And that was from Tumul. Yes, Tumul, we can do that. That would be pretty easy. Well, not the studying part. The studying part's hard, but making the episode part, it's no problemo. Anyways, we're your hosts, Preston Roche. Margaret Duncan will be joining us again next week, and Campbell Sullivan, PsyD, is our guest. Our executive producers are me, Preston Roche, Margaret Duncan, Will Flannery, Kristen Flannery, Aaron Corney, Rob Goldman, and Shanti Brooke. Our editor and engineer is Jason Portizo. Our music is by Omer Benz-V. To learn more about our program disclaimer and ethics policy, submission verification and licensing terms, and our HIPAA release terms, go to howtobepatientpod.com. Reach out to us at howtobepatient@human-content.com with any questions or concerns. How to Be Patient is a human content production.
How to be patient.
Thank you for watching. If you want to see more of us, or if you want to see, this is Lilac, she's my cat. She's going to be waving her hand at one of the floating boxes, which will lead to more episodes. Lilac, point to the other episodes. Lilac doesn't know what the internet is, but I swear they're there. They probably exist for real. But in the meantime, I'm just going to pet Lilac, and then I'm going to go dance in the background.